Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. I'm so glad you're here. You guys, I ended up having a live chat and really went into this visit, into some theories of what I think is going on, into so much weirdness around this. Just some interesting things people have done deep dives on. I just want to talk about all of it. I have so much information to share with you all. So I thought you would enjoy a separate video just with this children's hospital visit of Meghan's, when I think it took place, what I think is going on, and what some of you internet sleuths have found out, because it's juicy and I'm excited for you to see it. So enjoy this. Again, this is from the live stream, so if you hear me talking to other people in the chat, that's what's going on, but you'll see what's happening. Here we go. So the news came out yesterday. This is courtesy of Daily Mail. And can I just say, does it feel like Daily Mail took a little bit of a dig at her? Because it does to me. Meghan Markle shows off her acting skills as she excitedly reads to kids. Okay. All I can think of is, oh, I wouldn't want to be told I'm showing off my acting skills while spending time with sick children, right? I mean, that to me, I took that as a dig. I think that's pretty funny. But the part that's not funny is that she went to this children's hospital, okay? And we'll get into the dates because I have some theories. Now, at face value, she's trying to say, or her people are trying to say, that this occurred on March 21st. And spoiler alert, we're going to get to it. I don't know that I agree with that, but we're going to get into it. All right. But she's showing off her acting skills. And my thought is she acting like she cares? Is that what they mean? Acting like she didn't bring a camera? Acting like she didn't have a film crew there with her at the children's hospital? Acting skills. But here she is pretending to be the saint, right? And being at the children's hospital. Let's keep going. So there's this one. This is one of the pictures that was shared. Now, Jay, bringing you in on this. You have not seen this picture before. This is one of the pictures that was shared. Is there anything that you notice here?
I think the kid may have been expecting John Cena and got Meghan Markle instead. He's like, oh. Yeah, he doesn't look too thrilled.
Yes, and we're not laughing at the child. Obviously, he's got health stuff going. I'm not going to speculate about a child. He's there in the children's hospital. And so I actually felt, it's funny what you said, but I felt revolted by this picture because you have a clearly sick child here that's being posed and used as a prop. And you got Meghan with her rictus grin under this mask, right? And sitting there, and we're going to get into the outfit and the ridiculous expense, all of it. But just this picture sums up what I think is ridiculous and awful about this moment. And I'm seeing your comments. You're saying that poor boy. That's exactly what I said. That poor child who's having to sit there and pretend like he's happy to be there. It's using people as props. Once again, we see it with Hank and Skank all the time. We saw it, I believe, in my opinion, with the veterans and stuff, with people in wheelchairs, and then here with these children, and it just disgusts me. Let's continue on. Actually, let me show you this. Let's see here. So there's that picture. Let me show you this. You can see that picture. Now let me show you this picture. Sorry, I'm sorting out the pictures. Bear with me. Okay, here we go. This is a picture of Catherine visiting a child in a children's hospital. This was when she and William were on tour several years ago. I believe they're in India at this point. I can't remember. But here she is with a sick child. Do you see the difference? Catherine is not smiling for the camera. She is engaged with this child. Catherine is not holding court in the middle of a children's hospital like Meghan was. There's actually a video. I wish I had it here with me. I do not, unfortunately, but where she's beckoning people to come to her versus the other way around. I find that so despicable. I really do. This really hit me hard. To me, I would put this on the level of that school stuff that I don't like to talk about. You know what I'm talking about with the victims of the school tragedy, where she continues to use that to try to get publicity for herself. I feel like this is that once again, just in a different setting. So again, look at the difference. You have Catherine going to the children, playing with the children, you know, wearing something appropriate for where she's at, but also that allows her to move and to engage with the children. It's not about the expense of the item. It's not about any of that. It's about the children, as it should be, right? So I think this picture says a lot, the differences. But let's keep going because I have so much more, and I will get to your comments. And I know Jay's bursting to talk about this too. Yeah, Jay's going, "Argh!" I know, I feel the same way. Let's keep going. No, let's see here. I did the Catherine. Okay, here we go. Here's another thing that I wanted to draw your attention to. This was, I never say your name right. I apologize. I wanted to share this posted by Princess Devast. I thought this was just such a good point. Using sick kids to promote herself is so wrong. When keeping the UK titled kids hidden, Meghan is the biggest scammer in history. So I don't talk about her kids, as you know. I talk about the idiot parents, and so that's what I'm talking about with this. Yeah, isn't that interesting that she has no problem posing with these sick children to try to benefit herself, and yet never anything about her own kids? Anybody else find that so completely odd? Because I do. Also, I've said before, I would actually respect them if they were looking out for the kids, but in my opinion, that's not what it is, because they bring up the Wales children quite a bit. We just saw it happen when they were in Canada. And so it's not privacy. They're being weird. And this is, weird isn't a strong enough word. They're being gross with this, I think. Using sick kids to promote herself while keeping the UK taxpayer titled mystery kids hidden. I find that so odd. All right, let's keep going. And I do see the comments absolutely blowing up. I know I want to talk about all of this stuff. All right, let's keep going. I did that. Let's talk about, oh, here we go. My twins here. Oops, sorry. Hold on. Stephanie. All right, let's talk about the Sidley twins. You know, I love them. I was texting with her about how disgusting all this is. And I'm going to show you what video to watch because they go into this too, and they're lovely and I love them. But Stephanie Sidley, if you're not familiar, they do the twin talk, of course, here on YouTube. I always shout them out because they're lovely. But Stephanie had posted this. So if Meghan Markle went to Children's Hospital on March 21st, why did she release the pics today? Any decent person would have kept the visit private, especially after #Princess Catherine's cancer diagnosis. This woman has no empathy. And I love exactly what Stephanie's saying, but also that sign that person is holding is my whole world. I texted Stephanie. I was like, I cannot stop laughing about that. I told Stephanie, I need you to follow me around with this sign because I feel this exact same way. Our expectations for you were low, but holy F, that's how I'm feeling right now. And everybody, I see your comments saying you love the twins. Me too. They're wonderful. But I said, this is why I love Stephanie Sidley. She's wonderful. This sign is brilliant. But truly, she brings up such a good point. Exactly what I'm saying as well. This woman has no empathy. And the whole thing is so odd. Now, let's keep going because I have more and it's going to get weirder. Here we go. Guys, this popped up this morning. I have been dying to talk about this with you all. Meghan Markle, this is courtesy of Daily Mail. Meghan Markle hands out signed Polaroids to young patients at the Children's Hospital. All right. So I just want you to think about that. She's using the sick kids. She's handing out Polaroids. She's autographing them in the Children's Hospital. She's giving out autographs in a Children's Hospital. Does that hit anybody else so completely crazy? In fact, I'm going to let Jay cut in because he had such a good point about this because it just hit me so wrong.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, does that kid even know who Meghan Markle is? Do you think he's been sitting around watching Suits? He's like, oh wow, characters welcome. I doubt that. I mean, I don't know how old he is. He looks young, maybe 10. There's no way he knows who Meghan. You know, maybe through the news or something. He's like, oh yeah, she's the one that married that other one. But I mean, it's so opportunistic to take a photo like that. And I guess the thing, and some people pointed this out in the chat already, like from my knowledge base, one of the frequent groups of people that do this are wrestlers, like WWE wrestlers. They participate a lot with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And as somebody pointed out, John Cena, one of their top guys for a while, he has the record for the most wishes granted. How many photos have I seen of that? Very few. They don't really tout that a lot. I mean, it comes out every now and then like, hey, we do this. And it's more just like, they don't promote it in a gross way. They have done that with things in the past, but nothing like this. Not, using a sick child as a prop. I mean, they've been doing this since I was a kid. I remember, I think they did a thing on like, maybe Jerry Springer of all things, but I remember Razor Ramon came out and gave some sick kid a copy of his championship belt at the time. And, it was just kind of it may have been when they started doing it, but they even though it was Jerry Springer, it was still more classy than this one was. It was just like, hey, this kid's not doing good, so let's hang out with him and, have some fun. It doesn't look like he's having fun. I mean, it's just so gross to look at. I mean, and we know the track records, so we know what the motivation is behind photos like these. So I don't know what else to say beyond that. But I mean, yeah, as many of the wishes, like if you add all the wrestlers up, like it's a really big deal now. So I mean, they make a big deal about John Cena being the top guy, but there's a few not far behind him. And they don't publicize it. Like I think it may be Roman Reigns. I think he may be close to Cena, and I didn't know that. And as a fan, like I've been watching for a long time, so that tells you how little they brought that out there. It's not like, hey, look what we're doing, ha ha ha. Give us money for reasons. It's just something they do. I mean, that's kind of one of the things. I mean, arguably most of a big chunk of their audience is children. Our children, sometimes man children, but I mean, the wrestlers. So I mean, they're basically as close to a real life superhero as you can get. If you're into that, if you're a kid watching the show, so that would mean a lot. And fortunately, they do that for some kids, and they don't make a big deal out of it. It's usually pretty private. Like if you Google that, you can probably find some photos. But I mean, out of how many thousands of kids John Cena's met, I doubt there's thousands of photos out there like him saying, check me out, look what I did. Yeah. I mean, I don't really remember him bringing it up himself personally. I think he just does it.
Yeah, exactly. That's such a good point. I think he just does it. And we've actually found out about wrestlers that do it off camera when they visit the children when they're sick in the hospital, and then if the children get stronger and better and stuff, then they eventually bring them to the sporting event. They follow back up, they spend time. And that is that's just such a difference, right? Versus this, signing autographs. I know you want to meet me. Look at me in the children's hospital. That's awful. And then people are reacting to the Polaroid. Exactly. You know what my first thought on the Polaroid was? Oh, it's like, what's the word? Like camp. So she must be probably going to promote something like this on her website. Is she going to be selling something like this? Is this a promotion for the website? That's all I could think about when I saw it, something like that. But autographs for sick kids. Just, can you think of anything less classy? Again, I do put it in a different category with a sports hero. Yes, I understand that if Tom Brady is there, you probably ask him to sign a football. But in a case like this, to offer kids her autograph, like, line up, peasants, I'll sign this for you. I just find that so classless and tacky and gross. All right, continuing on, let's look at this. All right. To make it even more gross, did she wear something approachable to the hospital? No, absolutely not. She wore a floral Oscar de la Renta dress. It's listed at 2,776 pounds. What's that for us? In America here, well, that is $3,490. A silk chiffon I don't know, shirt dress from Oscar de la Renta. Can you think of anything less practical to wear to a hospital? Because I can't. I really can't. It just, to me, it's another detail that means it is not about the kids. It's about look at me. Because first of all, beige, by the way. Beige. But silk chiffon to a hospital, I just can't think of anything less practical. Now, side funny note, Oscar de la Renta, she has a history there of ridiculously expensive Oscar de la Renta dresses, such as this one of my all-time favorites. Look at that face. Looking good, Maggie Poo. Look at that face. Headed to a wedding in an ill-fitting Oscar de la Renta, so it continues to be a pattern. As I've pointed out before, this seems to be a toilet paper fascinator on her head, so there's that. But, okay, now I want to point out
GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Or get $3,500 purchase cash on select GMC Sierra models. Plus get $2,500 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Welcome to the Waverhood.
The Wayfair vibe at our place is Western.
My thing, darling, shine.
Gardening.
Some of us go for the dramatic.
How didn't I know Wayfair had vanities in tile? Oh!
This? Yeah. Do you have any ottomans without legs?
Sean, you'll flip for the food cart.
In the Waverhood, there's a place for all of us.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
These are the shoes. Why am I talking about shoes? I'm going somewhere with this. Because these shoes are $747, again, to a hospital visit. So I'm pointing this out to say that is not spend time with kids planning. That is look at me and my wardrobe planning. Again, making it all about herself. But since we're talking about the shoes in Aquazzara, let me take this opportunity to remind everybody that Aquazzara, her favorites, because she wears that brand, and I hope I'm saying it right, quite a bit. Well, guess what? They love Catherine, Princess of Wales. They often shout out Catherine, Princess of Wales. So that must sting. Here's one directly from them saying, HRH Catherine, Princess of Wales, wearing bow tie pump, and then goes into what she's wearing, to the National Portrait Gallery in London. So this is one of several examples where they are shouting out Catherine, Princess of Wales. I could not find where they shouted out Meghan. In fairness, I didn't look that closely, but I just find it funny that it's like she's chasing everything. She's chasing fame. She's chasing these brands. Like Dior was like, they put out that statement like, we're not trying to work with her. And Aquazzara, in my opinion, appears to be doing the same by, again, expressing the love for Catherine, Princess of Wales. Now, I have a little bit more to this we're going to talk about, and then I really will get to all of your comments because I see them flying past me, but let's keep going. Let's see here. Here is Stephanie. Let's talk about this. Again, I wanted to bring up her tweet and show you this one. Here we go. Stephanie pointed out yesterday, Meghan Markle purposely wore the same outfit that she wore in the Frogmore family picture. Pardon me. So Google would bury the first image. She's trying to erase the Photoshop fail by exploiting sick kids. When will it stop? Now, I love this thought. No, I don't love this thought. I love where Stephanie's going with this. I think she's on to something with this. It didn't occur to me that that's what's happening. This is something that we've known of. I got to quit calling her Meghan. Hank and Skank. That's what they do. They try to rewrite history by doing things purposefully to change the search engine. So now when you search this dress, she's hoping that it will be associated with this children's hospital and not a Photoshop fail, because remember, she couldn't have that, right? I'm being very sarcastic when I say this. Now, let me give a shout out to the twins. Here is Twin Talk. Here's the name of the video. I told them I wanted to shout them out because they're lovely. They go into this big time as well. They go into stuff I'm not talking about here, so do watch it. They go into how they exploit the same LA hospital that the Kardashians often use when they need PR. So this is Twin Talk. Sidley twins, check them out. Again, love the twins. I consider myself a triplet. All right, let's keep going. Now, here's the stuff that I was gathering right beforehand. Let me give a shout out to Resting Dollface. Resting Dollface, who I was talking to earlier, shared this. She's saying, we know Meghan Markle likes to stockpile footage from years ago. Considering, now this is, I love Resting Dollface. I'm not coming after her. This is a sensitive subject. People are talking about that Meghan appeared, I'm going to put it nicely because I'm not talking about anybody's shape or anything. People fluctuate. It's fine. They were saying, interesting. She looked a little fuller in that dress. And so Resting Dollface is picking up on that and saying, hey guys, look at this. Same dress. I'm not saying anything about her size. I'm just saying she was a bit fuller here than we've seen her as of late. So Resting Dollface is hypothesizing, could this be back in 2022 that she did this? And she waited till now to release it. I thought that was such an interesting premise and such an interesting idea. At first I thought, well, no, but then there's just things that don't make sense. The hair length, which I know extensions and all that, but I'm saying that people were pointing out the hands, the fullness, the fit, the rewear, it would have been around the same time. I wouldn't put anything past her is my point.
I'm done with traditional foundation because of this. As a young makeup artist, I tried every foundation. Powdery form.
Then somebody shared, hold on, I'm so sorry. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. Here we go. Let me show this. Somebody shared this. This is a close-up of her at the Children's Hospital. And again, not talking about anybody's anything. We all fluctuate. It's fine. But this is a close-up. You can see what people are alluding to, a fullness. And this person pointed out, and I want to give him a shout out, CNEL775, pointing out there is a rip, it appears to be in the top. I thought it was a shirt, but it's a dress. In the top part of the dress, whatever's going on, it appears to be a rip, okay? So this person, again, let me go back, Princess Pinocchio, who is lovely, by the way, points out, she went back and looked at the photos from, what did I say, 2022, and found there is a rip. So either she re-wore this clothing knowing that there was a rip, or this is from 2022. You see what I mean? This is just weird. So they're hypothesizing, did she keep the same clothes, not care that it was ripped, and wear it again? Which, listen, who among us doesn't keep the same clothes? But, you know, somebody like this who buys $10,000 pair of shorts, that just doesn't really make sense to me. So is this from 2 years ago? I don't know. But they make a pretty compelling case. Let's see. Here's that's the rip thing. And then here's the other thing I want to point out. Whether it was taken now, whether it was taken 2 years ago, I want to remind everyone that when Catherine was being, what's the word I'm looking for? Raked over the coals by the press for the quote-unquote Photoshop mistake. I'm still refusing to call it that. It's a lovely photo of her family. She didn't have to share. She shared it anyway. When they were raking her over the coals, you remember sources. And when I say sources, I use the air quotes. And I'm thinking, oh, that's Meghan and her cronies, right? In my opinion. Sources said Meghan would never make that mistake because, quote, freakish attention to detail. Oh yeah? Freakish attention to detail? Explain this. What's that freakish attention to detail? And again, 2 years ago, explain that. What's that freakish attention to detail? So again, it's just interesting to me. I'm not sure which way I head with this. I'll tell you my opinions in just a second. Let's see. I'm sorry. There's something else. I'll tell you my opinions now. All right. I think there's so much going on here. I personally am starting to believe this is an older visit. Just, I don't know, based on what people are pointing out about size variations. I'm thinking it's an older visit because why would she wear a ripped piece of clothing again? Because we know her, she loves to spend. It's an excuse to go out and buy a whole new wardrobe, right? Because you ripped a shirt. Most of us would just mend it and move on, or just ignore it and move on. Not Meghan. I think that there's that. I think she released it now to get people always eyes on her. I think that, I mean, if you really want to get dark here, I think it's to steer a conversation about cancer to her. We had speculated, I wonder what weird medical thing she's going to have. Maybe this is her quote unquote medical thing, going to a hospital like this. So sorry, I've been talking for 20 minutes. I'm going to read some of your comments now. The last thing I'm going to end with is, not end with, but in this thought, I want to put this thought out there. You ready? When she was with the royal family, it is alleged, and we have read in many books, the claim that she was loudly saying, I should be getting paid for this, even though her whole life was paid for, right? And continues to be paid for by this. She was saying, I should be getting paid for this, for these royal tours. It was alleged it was around the time she went to Australia. And throwing just an absolute hissy fit about it, right? So now what? What's she doing? She's doing these tours and she's trying to get herself paid for it. Bam, mic drop. That's what she's doing. And it makes me sick. So now it's your turn. Chime in the comments. What do you think is going on? Do you think these photos are old or new? I'd never believe anything Hank and Skank throw at us, so why would I believe this? Curious to read all of your thoughts, though. Obviously, I think it's part of an attention grab thing, but I just feel like there's more going on here. Very curious. But guys, thank you so much for sticking with me. If you joined the live chat, thank you for that. If you watch the live chat replay, thank you for that. If you're just watching this now, well, I appreciate you guys too. If you want to further support the show, you know how to do it. Check out the merch, Drunk Goose Club, honk honk everyone. And check out Patreon, patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps. That's where we do the bonus deep dives and episodes and all that stuff. So check that out if you're interested. In the meantime, thank you for being here with me. Thank you for everything, all the lovely comments and support. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you again to those who came out to the chat. There was 1,000 of you on. That's incredible. I feel so lucky because of all of you. So thank you for that. I truly hope you have the best day. And in a world of Meghan's, be a Catherine, right? Because, oof, don't be this. Yikes. I really am disgusted by this behavior. I'm just putting it out there. I know I made some jokes and tried to laugh because I had to cut the tension, but, oh, awfulness. And it's not even shocking. That's the shocking part. Thank you for everything. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.